Ears, and it is 1 o'clock on Thursday, which means it's time for a YouTube video. So let me go ahead and do a little quick refresh off to the left to be sure that I'm actually transmitilating here. And we'll make this cute little card with a stamp set that perhaps you have not found yet. I don't know. I don't know if you have or not. Okay, let me push this up a little bit so we're a little more in screen. There we go. All righto. So it looks like I am moving on my screen, so that's a good thing. Hi, Angie. Hi, Karen. Appreciate you guys coming. And Karen number 2, thank you. So this card uses some Lovely Blossoms DSP and a Round of Hellos stamp set. This is a January online exclusive, so pretty new. And it's very cute. It actually coordinates with a punch, the 1 3/4 maybe. But I have used the stylish shapes because I really like a circle that has a little bit of definition, a little bit of interest around the outside. So I just made 4 little squares of the Lovely Blossoms DSP, matted it on a regular card front, and then put a sentiment on the inside. And we've got Cloud Cover, Petal Pink, and Secret Sea. So what isn't to love about that color combination? Hello, Susan. Hello, Faith. Hi, Rosie. Appreciate you joining. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll see how many things I didn't get cut this morning. All right. So we've got a bunch of things cut. This is very simple. There's really very little die cutting. The only die cutting is that one stylish shaped circle. So that's pretty darn easy, really. I'm going to take a piece of the Lovely Blossoms, and we're going to mat it on. Hello, Mario. Appreciate you coming. And Nancy, thank you for joining. We're going to adhere this to a Petal Pink mat. I'm going to tell you what, Petal Pink, Cloud Cover, and Secret Sea are the bomb. And also, I'm just saying, the diggity. All right, so we're going to mat that there. It's a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch piece of the DSP on a 4 by 5 1/4 inch mat. So pretty standard stuff. And then I cut out 4 squares from the DSP. And they are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And we're just going to adhere them to the card front, basically, like this or so. Something like that. We'll probably do a little layering as we get closer to being done with it. Leave that like that. You can just kind of play with it and see how it works out. But before we really get too far playing, I think it will be useful to make our center sentiment, because then we'll have our circle already and we can use it as kind of like a guide. Hello, Rob. I'm sorry, I'm pretty certain that I screwed that up completely, and I apologize for that. But there it is. That's what I can see there. So hopefully I was close. Okay, so let's make our sentiment, shall we? I'm going to start with the round circle sentiment from a Round of Hellos, and it just says hello, 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 hello all around. So a Round of Hellos. And I'm going to stamp this in Secret Sea ink on a piece of basic white cardstock, like so. And then I'm going to stamp some flowers. Hey, Shirley. And I'm going to have the leaf image and the flower. And I have both the flower, and then on the other side I have the little center. All right. And so we're going to stamp him in Petal Pink. And now, Old Olive is this color on the DSP. But it was too dark because I want to stamp the sentiment over the top of it. So all I did was pull out my color wheel, and I saw that Granny Apple Green is complementary to Old Olive, and so that's what I used. There you go. That color wheel comes in handy. I'm just saying. Oh, hi, Robin. Appreciate you letting me know that. Thank you. I have a possibly 0% chance of remembering that, but I appreciate you letting me know. I am terrible about remembering names from one week to the next. So I'm going to start with the petals and we're going to stamp it in Petal Pink. And then I'm just going to turn my block over and ink up the center like that. And then we'll put this away so I don't make a mess. I don't make a mess of things. And I will stamp my leaves. Hey, Judy. I'm glad you're, it is cold here too. It's like, I think it was only going to get up to like 39. It's 35 right now. When we went out this morning at 6:15, it was 29, and it was briskly, let me tell you what. So I'm just going to ink that up in Granny Apple Green. And we're going to stamp this right there. Like that. It's not quite a full image. I could have done that better, but I don't mind it. I think it's kind of pretty. It gives it a little bit of a rustic look. And now I'm going to go, oh wait, I should probably stamp thank you. Let's do that first so that I can say I've done it. And I did this a couple of times on my scrap paper to see whether, I did try it with the old olive and it was just too dark. And we're going to stamp this kind of as straight as we can get. I also tried it with stamped off once colors, and I just didn't like the way the image worked. So I didn't do it. Okay, so now I'm going to go off screen really quick like a bunny. And I'm going to use the next to largest stylish shaped circle, and we're going to cut that little bad boy out. So I'll be right back. And then the rest of it is just putting this card together. So easy peasy, right? Nice and squeezy. Easy peasy, nice and squeezy. Get it lined up. I love this circle, this third from largest die fits that image perfectly. It's like it was meant to be. I don't know if Stampin' Up! Planned it that way, but it sure did work out like that, and it's perfect. You could also use the next largest one to give yourself a frame. So I could have matted this on the next largest stylish shaped circle, but I did not want to because I was sort of making a mat with my little squares. See? See? All right, so there we go. So now I can figure out where I want to put my squares because I've got my circle ready to go. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit like this, and I'm just kind of wiggling it around underneath my circle, right? Easy. And then this guy is gonna go, he's gonna have some overlap on the top of the squares. Now, obviously, I'm kind of going quickly because, why? Because I already know where it's gonna go. Because I already did it once. But that's basically where we're going to want. So I'll just pick this up. And then I would take a picture of it, but I'm not going to do that now because you guys are standing here watching. Let's fix that. That moved a little more than I wanted it to. So we're going to just kind of pick these up as we go.
Move back. Stay.
Wayne's trying to get out of the house without taking the dogs with him. He's got the guy coming to work on the dump truck. They have to do a DOT inspection, and so he does not wish for help from the peanut gallery, which is fair. That is fair, really fair. All right, get back where you were supposed to be. All right, and then we'll just pick these guys up like so, and give a little bit of liquid glue. Yeah, Stylish Shapes is an annual catalog, and boy, if you don't have it, I really, really, really recommend that you get it, because it's fairly awesome. Fairly awesome. Okay, put that down, and then I'm going to give that a little crookedy crook, and this a little crookedy crook. Now, before everything gets dried into place, I'm going to just pick up this corner right here, and just tip it up a little bit, and give it a little bit of a with my thumbnail. And we'll do the opposite corner on this one. And you could make it as big or as small as you want. I just kind of wanted it small like that. And I'm not adhering it down. If you don't like that kind of loose look, you could actually use a glue dot under there and push it down and hold it, but I wanted it to stick up. But that's just me. That's only me. And when you make this, you can make it however you want. Oh, yay, Linda, you are going to love this suite. I do need to order more of this DSP because I have really used it a lot. Okay, so we're going to do a loop-de-doopy here. So let me go ahead and get the length kind of cut out by doing this. And we'll cut that on an angle like that. And then I will put some seal, Stampin' Seal, a couple of little lines of it. And then all we're going to do is kind of go like that, and then back, and then I need a little bit more. I can see that. Stampin' Seal is a really good option for putting ribbon down. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we like how that looks when we get our sentiment on. Yeah, I think that's all right, don't you? I kind of like it. So there we go. So we'll just give that a little pushy push. And then I'm going to put my dimensionals on my, I have one partial dimensional right there on that strip, and now it can go in the trash because I'm so tidy. All right. And we'll put some dimensionals down. You can put them on the ribbon, but you really also want to be sure they're on the card front itself, okay? Because ribbon can, while it isn't going to move around necessarily, what it can do is kind of lift up and not really adhere so great. So make sure you've got some that is on the card front. The one on the ribbon is more to just keep it from kind of pushing down, you know what I mean? And we're going to just put those like so. Get rid of those tops. And we'll make this straight. Let's make it straight. I kind of scared myself a little bit. When you do a video like this, you take a picture beforehand to upload as the thumbnail, the initial thumbnail for YouTube. And when I pulled it up to load it and to get the live getting ready to go, I had put it on my, I'd put it upside down, and you can't really tell. I mean, you can't really tell that that's upside down except for that. And so I had a momentary panic that I had put the sentiment on the whole card base upside down. I had not, but it's been a day. Just let's say it's been, oh look, I'm going to play with it like that. Okay, now I've got some Moody palette dots, which are part of the Lovely Blossom suite, the online exclusive Lovely Blossoms. And I'm going to use white. I think it's crisp and pretty. It's so crisp and it's so pretty. Oh, so pretty. And then we'll put a couple up at the top. Oh, not upside down. They won't stick upside down. Nope, they won't. Like that. And there's our card front. And if you find that you've got some places that are kind of like sagging, go ahead and slide a couple of dimensionals under, because now you have everything situated, you know where dimensionals can go. So you can just slide them under your die cut like that. Okay. Hey, Linda, appreciate you joining. I'm going to stick one under there too. Oh, looks like I'm going to stick two. How do I know? Because I picked two up at the same time. Therefore, that is the crafting universe telling me I should put another two dimensionals. Really, it's only a half. It's only one because it's two halves. So it's practically frugal. I'm practically a frugal dimensional user. Here we go. And do we need one right there? Yeah, we do. We do. Glad you like it, Linda. I appreciate it. Okay. See, I think that the Granny Apple Green works just fine, personally. That's what I personally believe. And then we're going to put this on our Secret Sea card base that I did not do a very good job getting straight. So let's fix that before we adhere anything down. There we go. And I'll use some dimensionals here. And yes, I will be back on Saturday. I do not know what we're going to make, but it'll be something. Surely it'll be something good. Okey-doke. I do want to tell you, if you are a regular on my Thursday evening, I had kind of a long night, kind of a long morning, so I am going to cancel Zoom tonight. I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to get done here and go chillax for a while, by which I mean take a nap. And then I'm going to try to get everything done and kind of go to bed early tonight. So if you are normally one of my Zoom people, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page when I get done here. But I am not going to be on Zoom tonight. Fortunately, there's not a bunch of people who join on Thursdays usually, so hopefully that won't be too sad for everybody. And I'm sorry about being a wussy-wuss like that. But I'm going to do it. Okay, and then we'll just adhere this on. Oh, pretty. Petal Pink and Secret Sea. Be still my heart. It's perfect. Okay, so that can sit there for a second. I'm going to take a basic white panel. See, I knew I would forget to cut something. Let me do a quick envelope flap cut. We're going to get whatever paper comes up first for me, not that one. We should use the actual stamp set for which it was made. Let me cut this out right quick. Okay. All right. So for this one, on the inside, I'm going to stamp a second sentiment from A Round of Thanks, and it just says, "You're amazing in every way." Let me pull it to me so I get it sort of straight and don't embarrass myself. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll take that. Will I take that? Yes, I'll take that. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And then in the corner, we will stamp our flower. This is such an easy little flower. I love it. I think it's an echinacea. I made that up. I don't know what it is. We'll stamp our petal. And then I'm going to do the corner of my envelope at the same time, just to prove how efficient I am. And then we'll turn the block over, stamp the little center. Now you could use Daffodil Delight if you wanted a different color center, but I kind of like the pink, so that's what I did. Just got pink all over my finger. Thank you, Marva. I appreciate that. And then we'll pull out our Granny Apple Green and get our leaf, our leafa. And you can only get a partial stamp, which is fine. Okay. And ink it up again for the envelope. There we go. We'll set that aside for a second and then close this before I have a catastrophe of the ink variety. And we'll put this on the inside of our card with some liquid glue. Again, you have your Stampin' Seal out for the ribbon, so if you prefer, oh, don't do that. If you prefer to use Stampin' Seal to put your inner liner in, obviously you can do that. When I use liquid glue for panels like this, you can use whatever non-dimensional adhesive that you like. I just wouldn't put this in with Stampin' Dimensionals, is where I'm going with that. That's where I'm going with that. All right, yeah. So there's our card. Cute. I really like this set, and it's kind of a flyover. It's a little bit, it's kind of one that people don't really look at because it's just a standalone stamp set. And, you know, it's easy to miss, but I think you shouldn't. I think you shouldn't. I think you should go back and take a look. Yes, I do. That's what I think. All right, and then we're going to put this piece of Lovely Blossoms DSP on. And now I'm definitely getting to the desperate point where I've got to buy another pack of this paper. All right. And World's Easiest Fussy Cut. The only fussy cut on this card, by the way. Just saying, want some props for that. And around that corner. And there we go. All right, so a round of hellos paired up with the ever necessary to have in your stash stylish shapes dies and some beautiful, lovely Blossoms DSP. Online exclusive for the stamp set, online exclusive for the paper, and then in your annual catalog for the stylish shapes. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll make a few. They're very nice. I think you can probably get away with just one stamp. They're just not that thick and not that heavy. So it's a great thank you card to have in your stash. Appreciate y'all joining with me and spending part of your week here, and I hope I'll see you on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week, y'all. Ta.